Donald Trump, Google, Facebook, and Twitter. Be careful, or better be careful, sorry. So, Donald Trump continually challenged big tech companies on Tuesday, warning them about censoring content from conservatives. Quote, I think what Google and what others are doing, if you look at what's going on with Twitter, if you look at what's going on in Facebook, they better be careful because you can't do that to people. Trump said you can't do it. So guys, what we're talking about here is obviously Donald Trump has spoken about big tech going through and shadow banning and also going through and suppressing and basically just, censoring conservative voices. There was a report that came out that said, I think it was 97% of content was from left stream media. That was done by someone who was considered, I think she's a centrist or right leaning. But yeah, she went through. She used a certain module, which obviously had certain people on left, certain people on right, and then what she did and actually looked at the first page, and she would go through and tally up how many of left, how many on right, how many were in center were on those first page results of Google. And to her non-amusement, obviously around 97%, I think it was always on the left. Companies like
That's pretty
Breitbart.
good censorship.
Yeah, people on the right like Breitbart and all those sort of people, they were not on the first page generally. And this is what Trump is in response to. He's going through saying, you can't do this, this is censorship. Why are you always getting left to be on the first page? Which obviously, as we know, most people will not go past the first page when they go for searches, for Google searches.
I do.
Yeah, me too.
But what I know that you have to.
Yeah, and I don't use Google for my search engine anyway. I use DuckDuckGo, so there's always that. But anyway.
Yeah.
Let's
DuckDuckGo can be a little skewed sometimes.
True.
Not because DuckDuckGo is the one doing it, but sometimes they sometimes use a bit of information from other search engines. Or another thing too is a lot of right-wing media is a bit upstart, and they tend to not do a very good job with their bots .text file. Bots ini or something in your, you have to have
robots.
It's metadata. Robots.txt, that's the one. Yeah, you got to have that set up right.
Which reminds me, I've got to go through and set mine up. Full stop. Period.
Yeah. So anyway. Sometimes DuckDuckGo is affected by that too. Just the fact that a lot of people just don't know about the robots,
Yeah, and then you get people like me that are just too lazy to set it up in the first place.
Yeah, or another thing you can have too is people set up web presses and stuff, and they don't set up correctly the link back feature. So yeah, a lot of right-wing media is censored, but there is a technical side to it as well that I think that we probably need to talk about more often.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, SEO or search engine optimization is obviously something that I think a lot of people struggle with, especially like small people like me, for example. I would love to pay someone to do SEO for me, but at
I know a guy.
Oh yeah, but I was going to say, but at the end of the day, it's pretty costly normally. So I don't know what your mate charges, but I was going to say
I'll try and hook you up.
All right, sweet. But yeah, anyway, let's jump into the story because we're sort of doing the after talk before we do the first talk. Oh, by the way, guys, Satellite is in the Discord again.
They'd realise. Hey everyone, how you doing? Sorry for being away for a couple of days.
Yeah, our schedules have been like on opposite tracks, and I thought he was dodging me. He thought I was dodging him. It was all conspiracy theory. No, but all seriousness, no. I've been up. He's been sleeping. I've been sleeping, and he's been up, and it's just different schedules. But let's jump into it because we're already at like 4 minutes and we haven't even really jumped into the article yet. The president said that he had heard thousands of censorship complaints from people that represented but it was not fair, that he added censorship was a serious charge against the tech companies. Quote, I think Google, Twitter, Facebook, they are really trending on very, very troubling territory and they have to be careful, he said. It's not fair to large portions of the population. The president has harshly trumped his criticism of social media companies after a report of conservative content being downgraded, removed, or deleted from their platforms. Info was, sorry, An Axios reporter, Jonathan Swan, suggested on Twitter that the president was reaching to a series of Breitbart news stories on the biased search results and censorship by tech companies. So this was actually something we were going to talk about yesterday, and I didn't get around to because I need a clone. But it appears that these articles which have been spinning around the conservative circles are the ones that got Trump in a spun. And it's what we already talked about earlier on. On Tuesday morning, the president commented on a report that argued Google was favouring liberal and established media sources on their Google News searches and bearing conservative content. I don't think... they would never do that, would they? But Trump wrote... Trump wrote, Google's search results for Trump news shows only the viewing reporting of fake mainstream media or fake news media. In other words, they have rigged for me and others. So almost all stories and news is bad. Fake CNN is prominent. Republican, conservative, and fair media is shut out. Illegal, 96%. Sorry, it was 96%.
It's like this on all platforms.
Yeah.
YouTube search, Google search, Facebook search, any of the mainstream tech platforms, including all subsidiaries, is affected. Google Plus, for example, is also affected.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the fact is that I actually have problems going through and finding articles that's not from mainstream media. Now, look, obviously, as I've said to you before, I actually have a program that I use that goes through and brings up the trending news and stuff like that. And I've had to program that to go through and bring up the conservative news, which is obviously something I've been able to do. But at the end of the day...
There's a new platform I've noticed some tech YouTubers, been promoting. I'll have to see if I can find the name again.
I think I know the one you're talking about. Yeah. It's like it's basically...
It's an aggregator.
Oh, okay. All right. I know there's one where they go through and they review the news and they give it a credibility rating.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it does that. It's like it works like an aggregator, and apparently, it includes, the likes of Breitbart and all that. So apparently, it's a freedom of speech news platform. I'll see if I can get the name in the meantime now.
Okay, cool. While we're also talking about censorship and whatnot, the White House petition demands Congress pass legislation protecting online speech. So InfoWars has started up a White House petition. A new White House petition has been launched urging President Trump to demand Congress pass legislation that defends free speech online. Now, the full petition, which can be signed here, I'll put a link in the description below, reads as follows. The internet is a modern public square. Public campaigns are fought and won. Journalism is created to distribute, and grassroots movements are born. Yet the free and open internet has become controlled, censored space, monopolized by a few unaccountable corporations. By banning users from their platform, those corporations are effectively removing publicly unwanted Americans from the public square. That is repugnant to our shared values of free speech and freedom of the press. The president should request Congress pass legislation protecting or prohibiting social media platforms from banning users for First Amendment protected speech. The power to block lawful content should be in the hands of individual users, not Mark Zuckerberg or Jack Dorsey. So, meaning at the end of the day, if you don't want to listen to someone, then you can just block their content or just not watch it, which is what I would prefer not to do. But yeah, at the moment, I have gone through and it has been up for about an hour or so, a couple hours, and it's already got 9,270 signatures. So we still need to get 27,000 signatures. We still need to get 90,000 signatures by September 27th to get a response from the White House. So you do have over a month, but obviously, guys, if we could get this going, that would obviously be in the best interest of the internet, I feel, anyway. All right. So what do you think about censorship online? Do you think they conservatives are being censored, or?
Absolutely. I am a free speech absolutist. So as long as you're not breaking the law, like physically just breaking the law, like such as Crowder points out on his 4 videos, they're really awesome. I watch those. Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say. And actually, I wanted to change a stance as well. In the past, I said I don't agree with everything that Alex Jones says, but I advocate for his right to say it. I actually don't want to have that modifier on what I'm saying. I just simply say I support his right to freedom of speech, and that's absolute. I don't want to add anything to it because I feel it might be a cop-out by saying I don't agree, because it's like you're being a little bit wimpy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying other people who say that are being wimpy. I'm kind of just saying that let's not put a modifier on how we say things.
True. Yeah, at the end of the day, look, I don't agree with everything that Alex says. You know, do I think there's interdimensional beings that are vampires that are going to suck the life out of children? Probably not. But at the end of the day, I reserve his right to say it. But yeah,
and I'll probably still watch his video saying it because it's good.
Oh, it's definitely meme value. It's definitely good meme value, that's for sure. Do you think that Trump will go through and do anything regarding this? Because he kind of has to if he wants to win the next election, doesn't he?
I would say it will force his hand on that, He might actually have to do something in that regard, even just to win the election. It's possible. Whether you can expect the mainstream media is going to run that narrative that he's only doing it because of the fake news that supports him. They're going to say things like that, I imagine.
Yeah, well, this is an interesting... And look, at the end of the day, this is obviously going to mix a couple of the stories that we're going to do today, because we are going to talk about CNN's fake news. Look, I fully admit, I had to put up a retraction video earlier today that I put up during prime time, mind you, because of the fact that I got a story wrong yesterday. Now, that story was up for about 12 hours. I've since taken down the original video, or I've privated it. And at the end of the day, I've demonetized the apology video, so there's no way I can make money off it. But CNN has had a story that has been on their website since late July that is being proven has been fake, and they're not only refusing to take it down, they're defending that. We will be talking about this in another video, but, you know, like when he literally sits there and calls fake news, well, they literally are. This is literally a case of them leaving the story up, knowing that it's fake, and they've left it up for almost over a month now. You know, because it fits their narrative.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, well, no one is, but... Yeah, but I was going to say, but like, this is why he calls you fake news. Do you not understand how this works? Like, what the actual... Yeah. Anyway, CNN's fake news. But I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And this is something I probably should ask you, Sat, too. Do you guys think that he will go through? Are you a fan of him going through and putting in First Amendment rights to protect the digital space? Or would you like other legislation to come through? What do you think Trump will actually do in regards to this? Do you think he will actually do something? Or do you think he's just going to flake on it? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.